Assalamu alaikum. This is Jiveria AI Wali from Rehan School Teachers Training Institute. Welcome to my channel, The Wisdom Talks. Today we will have conversation with ChatGPT. So, hello ChatGPT.
Hello, Javiria. Thanks for the intro and congrats on the channel launch. Happy to be here. What's our first question?
Thank you. My first question is, what does failure really mean, and why do so many people fear it?
Failure just means not getting the outcome you wanted, right? It's a result, not an identity. People fear it because we're wired to protect ourselves from pain, embarrassment, judgment, and loss. But a lot of that fear comes from what others might think, not just the failure itself. Underneath is often just self doubt, whispering louder than the facts.
So, can failure actually be considered a stepping stone to success?
Sure, usually it is. When you fail, you get information you didn't have, what doesn't work, where the weak spots are. The trick is treating it like feedback, not a verdict on you as a person. That mindset shift turns setbacks into stepping stones.
Okay, what are the biggest lessons that failure teaches?
It teaches patience, perspective, and a bit of humility. It can sharpen creativity too, because you stop repeating the same moves, you experiment. And emotionally, if you let it, it builds resilience. You stop expecting smooth sailing and start trusting yourself to handle rough water.
Okay, why do successful people often experience more failure than others?
Because they're trying more stuff, taking more risks, testing bigger ideas. They rack up more misses because they're in the arena, not watching from the stands. And they treat those misses as tuition fees, not disasters. That's why. Failure shows up often on the path to success, not the opposite of it.
Okay, how can we change our mindset about failure?
Start small. Reframe mistakes as data. Ask, what did this teach me? Normalize it by sharing screw ups out loud with trusted folks. And keep a simple log of experiments, what worked, what didn't, lessons learned. That turns a scary event into a normal part of the process. Over time, that rewires how you feel about it. Less shame, more curiosity.
So, what is difference between failing and giving up?
Failing is an event, giving up's a decision. Failure says, this attempt didn't work. Giving up says, I'll stop trying. You can fail many times and still move forward. Giving up ends the experiment. The sweet spot is failing forward, adjusting, and trying again. That's where growth lives.
So, how does failure help us build resilience? Resilience.
Every time you bounce back, you prove to yourself that you can. That repetition builds confidence. Your brain updates its prediction. This isn't the end of me. Over time, stress feels more manageable because you've survived it before. You learn you can adapt. And that is resilience in motion, not tough guy bravado, just repeated recovery.
So, my next question is, can failure improve our decision making skills?
Absolutely. When a choice leads to a bad result, you get concrete evidence about assumptions that were off, patterns you missed, timing issues. Next time, you're less likely to repeat that exact miss. Over time, you become more cautious where needed, sure, but also bolder where risk is acceptable. It's like your gut gets a little smarter because it's trained by real outcomes, not just theories.
So, why is self reflection important after experiencing failure?
Because without reflection, you risk repeating the same thing. Self reflection helps you separate what happened from who you are. It clarifies lessons and helps you choose smarter next steps. Skipping that pause tends to default you back into old habits. Reflection turns an ouch moment into a that's why moment. Way more useful.
So, what are some common reasons people fail to achieve their goals?
Unclear goals, unrealistic timelines, no accountability, fear of discomfort, and plain old lack of follow through. Also, fighting the wrong battle. Goals that no longer match what you actually value. Sometimes it's not motivation, it's misalignment. You're climbing the wrong mountain. Fix the direction first, then the grind gets a lot more meaningful.
Yeah, that's nice idea. What role does emotional intelligence play in handling failure?
A big one. If you can notice your emotions without letting them run the show, you recover faster. Empathy helps you seek feedback without defensiveness and regulate shame or anger so they don't hijack decisions. Basically, it turns down the emotional volume so you can think. That's how failure becomes something you manage, not something that manages you.
Okay, so how can teachers encourage students to learn from mistakes?
Model it first, admit your own do overs, then respond to mistakes with questions, not shame. What did you try? What will you adjust? Celebrate iteration, not just perfect results. And grade the process sometimes, not just the final answer. That builds a classroom culture where curiosity is safe and learning is active, not performative.
Okay, so what advice would you give to someone who feels like giving up after failing?
First, pause, catch your breath, talk to someone safe. Don't make forever decisions in a temporary low. Then ask tiny steps. What's one doable action in the next 24 hours? Momentum comes back through small, winnable moves. If that stuck feeling lasts, it's okay to reassess the goal, not just your effort. Giving up isn't the only alternative to pushing hard. It's adjusting, resting, then trying again.
So, ChatGPT, the discussion is very informative, but we will have to end the video. So, as we come to the end of today's conversation,
Thank you for having me, Jabiria.
a
Anytime.
big thank you
Good luck with the
A big thank you to ChatGPT for sharing valuable knowledge and thoughtful insights throughout this session. And thank you to all our viewers for watching and supporting us. If you enjoyed this conversation, please like, share, and subscribe. to my channel, Cheria AI Wali, the Wisdom Talks, so you don't miss our upcoming educational discussions and interviews. So until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep exploring new ideas. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.